Hi, I am Vigneswaran. I welcome you all for my presentation. Today we will discuss about the record blocking scheme in the file management systems. So what do you mean by record? A record is a collection of files. A record is a collection of files. It is a logical unit to access of a structured file. And whereas we have another one concept which is there in the secondary storage device, that is called as a blocks. Blocks are unit of I/O, that is for I/O operations can be done based on the blocks. So I/O to be performed, the records must be organized in the form of a block. So that is a relationship between the records and then blocks. That is, a record which is stored in the particular block, if we have a organized manner, then only we can able to perform the I/O operations. And in this case, there are certain issues are associated with this record blocking scheme. We will see one by one what are the various issues are there in the record blocking schemes. So one, do we want to have a fixed or a variable length record? Obviously, to answer this question, it depends upon the operating systems, and most of the operating system it uses the fixed scheme, that is a fixed length of blocks, so that the block management is very easy according to the secondary storage device. And it is also depends upon the virtual memory concept. What is the type of virtual memory concept we are using, whether it is a paging or a segmentation mechanism. So the ultimate aim we are using the fixed block is because of to simplify the I/O operations, and we can easily manage the buffer allocation in main memory. And the organization of the blocks and secondary storage device is also very easy. That is a major reason we are having a fixed allocation scheme. And next, what is the size of the block? What should the relative size of a block be compared to the average record size? So here the major issues arises, which is based on what is the size of the block, whether we have to maintain the uniformity among the various tracks, and what should be the size, whether it is a less than the particular file size or more than the particular file size, or we have to maintain a common size of the particular block. So all these things is another second major question which arises in that. Suppose if I say if we have a larger block size, if the block size is a larger, then what will happen that the block management in secondary storage device is very complicated one if we have a larger block. Suppose if we have a very smaller block, then we cannot be able to accommodate the particular file. So that we can have a constant size of the blocks. If a particular file is searched in the sequential order, then the number of I/O operation is reduced in the larger block. Since why the number of I/O operations are reduced is because of every sequential file is allocated with the key. So with the help of the key, we can able to easily access the particular files, so that the I/O operation is very easy. So we can speeding up the particular processing. And suppose in case if we have a randomly accessed, if the accessing scheme is on a random access, and if there is no locality of a reference, then it means if it is having a larger blocks, obviously automatically what will happen, unnecessary transfer we may do it. That is, some unwanted file or unwanted records we may transfer into the accessory into the particular schemes, so that it reduces the system performances. Sir, if we want to have, if we have a query like that, if we want to have a optimal transfer time for the larger block, then what we want to do? So in that case, we want to combine the two interesting and important schemes, that is called as the accessing mechanism, which is based on the sequential, so that we can get the key, and we can take the file attributes, one of the file attributes that is called as a locality of the reference. It gives a starting address of the specific file. With that, with the help of that, if we combine both the schemes, so we can get the transfer time is very less in the larger blocks, so we can parallelly improve the system performances also. But here the major concern or constraint here is this, if we have a larger block, the buffer management is very tedious in the secondary storage devices. So in general, for record blocking, we can say we have three different types of record blocking, and we have to take it into the consideration of those issues also. So we have three methods of blocking. One is a fixed blocking, and second one is a variable length blocking spanned, and third one a variable length blocking unspanned. A fixed blocking scheme, as the name implies, we have a fixed length records, and the many number of records files are stored in the particular record, and that to be stored in a block, in a single block. The major problem if we are having a fixed length block is that is called as a internal fragmentation. As we seen when we discussed the concept of virtual memory scheme, that itself we came to know, we came across the term which is called as a internal fragmentation is within the block, after the entire file is stored, we may encounter some of the spaces cannot be unused because a block size is greater than the particular file size. So in that case, we cannot able to utilize those unused spaces to store the next records. So it leads to the problem that is called as a internal fragmentation. So see in this diagram, the records are stored in that, in a particular block. R1, R2, R5, R6 are called as the records, and after storing the record, there are some spaces are unused here. So this is called as a internal fragmentation in a particular block. After storing the record, so we may found some of the spaces are unused spaces. Those spaces cannot be able to utilize for storing the other records. So it leads to the concept that is called as a internal fragmentation. So to overcome the internal fragmentation concept, we are moving to the another one blocking strategy that is called as a variable length blocking strategy. In that we have a spanning and unspanning schemes are used. So what we are going to have in the spanning scheme is obviously it have a variable length record, but all these records are packed into the single block with no unused spaces. If my records are stored in a particular block, if I feel that there is some spaces are there, then what I want to do is I will make use of those spaces to store the next record. Obviously that space is not sufficient to accommodate the entire file or entire record of the newly arrived record. So what I will have is I will have a pointer to pointing into the next record to store the rest of the information of the respective file, so that we can easily understand the predecessor block as well as also the successor block with the help of the pointer. So see in this diagram, so it's clearly indicated that after storing the R3 record, so we have some spaces are there, so we are utilizing those spaces into the R4, the newly arrived record, and rest of the information with respect to the R4 file is also stored in the next block. So we have a pointer in that, so we can easily track the complete informations of the R4, that is a block 4. And third method, that unspanning unspanned one. That is, in this case we are the same, the concept wise everything is same, but only thing is we are not going to use the spanning. That is, there is no pointer concept in that. So we are if any spaces, unused spaces are there, it's those are complete unused spaces are treated as a wasted spaces only. See in this diagram, after storing the record R3 and then R7, there are the huge number of spaces are unused one. Since we cannot be able to use this unused spaces, because we are using the unspanned concept here. For fixed block, it uses a sequential file with a fixed length of records, whereas for efficient storage management schemes, we are using the variable length records. First, this record blocking scheme, it should interact with the virtual memory hardware, so that it will identify whether the operating system it uses a paging concept or a segmentation concept. If it uses a paging concept, then it has to get the desirable page to transfer the particular record into the block. So this approach is especially used in the vSAM file on IBM mainframe systems. The meaning of the vSAM file is called as virtual storage access methods. Thank you.